Let's talk to Andy McDonald. He is Labour's transport spokesperson, and also two small business owners, Heather Barrie, who is here with me, and Anne Matthews. Welcome, both of you. Anne, tell us about your business.
I've got a small catering vehicle. We sell coffee and porridge and flapjacks to commuters at Brighton train station.
And how is business going?
Not great at all. There's a massive drop we've noticed over the past 8-9 months in just general footfall, really.
Are you going to have to shut up shop?
Yeah, that's correct. We've taken the decision to actually to cease trading on the 23rd of December.
Wow. And how do you feel about that?
It's not great. We've been running this for the last 2.5 years. It was a complete lifestyle change at the time. And you know, it was new, it was exciting, it was something really good to do at the point, but it's just not working now.
Can you would you mind, Anne, just showing us around? Can you move the camera so we can just see your mobile tea shop? A fair way of describing it.
We have a coffee machine in this little corner here. Just a lovely cabinet here full of flapjacks. More flapjacks up here. Just about to wrap. And this is a
Thank you.
corner.
Yeah, thank you, Anne. Let me bring in Heather then. How much have you lost as a small business owner because of the strikes?
I think it's probably going to be, by the end of this tranche of strikes, about £3,000 in turnover. And that's just gone. I can't make it back once the days have gone. You can't get them back. It's not.
What is your business?
So I run a coffee bar similar to I'm at Arundel train station, so very similar effect. I've sort of noticed on the days when it's just the RMT out, there's still some commuters, and I have to kind of look after them because they've had such torrid journeys the day before. But then on the days now with ASLEF going out as well, there's no trains. I have no business, and there's nobody there today at all. So I have no income.
Yeah, we were hoping to talk to the General Secretary of ASLEF, Mick Whelan. He was due to be here, but he hasn't been able to join us. Let's talk to Andy McDonald then, who is Labour's transport spokesman. Do you condemn these strikes, Mr. McDonald?
This is dreadful for the impact it's having upon small businesses and people trying to get to and from the work, and they've lost jobs as a result. But I reserve my condemnation for a Secretary of State who seems to want to absent himself from this situation. This is a complete failure of industrial relations, and what a Secretary of State should be doing is getting involved and resolving this. And I urge him to call the parties in to start talks now without any preconditions, and let's get this resolved. It is resolvable, and the people who have been suffering for all of these weeks and months deserve that attention by the Secretary of State.
I hear your condemnation of the government. Do you condemn strike action?
Well, Victoria, this is the courts have decided that this is a legitimate dispute. The substance of it isn't about money or terms and conditions, it's about passenger safety. And for me to condemn a strike that's focused on that is to effectively say that it's perfectly okay to run these sorts of risks, and they are significant and serious risks, and I will never get myself in a situation where I'm going to be prepared to compromise on people's safety. That's what this is about.
Well, let's talk to Anne and Heather. I mean, is it about passenger safety?
Well, I have to say I see both sides of the argument, but I think they have such legit. I've travelled. I'm a train traveller as well, and I want somebody on the train. So I think they've got a very legitimate argument.
I mean, there will be someone on the train. There'll be the driver, and there will be another member of staff.
Which I totally understand.
There just won't be a guard/conductor.
Absolutely, and it sort of seems slightly petty that it's come down to who opens and closes the doors. But I know Southern have lots of curved platforms and things like that, and I think it sort of feels like these two sort of like bull elephants who are kind of going at each other, and it's just everybody. I don't know anybody who's not been affected by this. It's businesses, it's mums, it's students. Everybody has been affected by this, and there doesn't seem to be an end. There seems to be no political will to do anything.
Mr. McDonald, just to come back to you for a moment, Chris Grayling, the Transport Secretary, was saying this morning that he wrote last night, after the court action yesterday, he wrote last night to the unions in order to get back round the table, and as of this morning still hadn't had a response.
It's with conditions. What I'm saying is different. I'm saying have the talks without any preconditions. That's how you get discussions, negotiations going. So I don't know which way he wants to play this, because on the one hand he says he can't do anything, yet he's allegedly making this proposal. Well, if he's going to make the proposal, take the conditions of it and get started those talks today. There's no reason why it couldn't be resolved. The RMT put forward a proposal that would have accepts the transmission to onboard supervisors, but retaining the same safety critical competencies whilst new protocols are established in conjunction with the drivers. That would bring this dispute to an end immediately, and I urge him to take that opportunity, to take that offer and get on with this, rather than threatening people with bans on strikes. I mean, where on earth are we going with that?
You don't like that idea then?
Well, that's a horrendous idea, to suggest that people would not have the right to progress their grievances and concerns. And this is about passenger safety at the end of the day. We know for a fact that there are significant dangers in asking drivers to supervise the closure.
Do we know for a fact?
We do know.
A third of the rail network, this is exactly what happens.
Horses for courses, when you've got the circumstances that will permit driver-only operation, but when you have a known risk, when the Rail Safety Standards Board themselves say that whilst there's nothing inherently wrong in the mechanism, DOO makes an accident more likely to happen, and if it does happen, it will be severe. Now, we've seen people dragged down platforms, sustaining life-changing injuries. This is not something we can just ignore and hope will go away. If we ban people bringing this to our attention in the way that the unions are, what are we going to do? Just allow the whole thing to let rip?
Okay,
and then we're having a conversation about injuries and perhaps even worse. So let's avoid that. Let's get this sorted out, and let's listen to people's proper and legitimate concerns about safety.
Hi. At Brighton train station, there are two different services. One has conductors at the moment, guards, and the other one doesn't. They're driver only operated. What's the difference? They're both leaving the same train station, they both have the same number of commuters on, they're both going into London. Why do they operate differently?
What's the difference? I mean, I don't know the answer to that, Anne. Do you, Mr. MacDonald?
Well, I don't know about those specific circumstances, but what I do know is when you've got 12 carriages and you've got curved platforms, it's putting an onerous responsibility upon a driver to view 12 and perhaps even more screens that are no bigger than a mobile phone, and to make a decision about the safe dispatch of the train. And we all know, we see the scenes of thousands of people crowding upon these platforms, and to put that responsibility upon a driver to say, off you go, the train can safely dispatch, is asking for trouble. And I think we've got to take proper recognizance of their concerns.
Thank you very much. Andy MacDonald is Labour's transport spokesman. Thank you very much, Anne. Thanks for coming on the programme. I wish you all the best, I really do. Heather, thanks for coming into the studio. Heather Barrie, thank you very much. Good luck with your business.
Thank you so much.